Welcome back, everyone. And in today's music theory video lesson, we are going to take a look at basic chord construction examples. All right, so there's really two ways that we build chords, and that's going to be, or two steps, I should say. So the two steps that we're going to do are we're going to, number one, build the major scale, and number two, we're going to apply the chord formula that we talked about in our previous video. So let's go ahead and go through some of these examples, and we're going to build these chords. So the first one says, hey, I want to build a G, and there's nothing next to it, so this is G major. So you don't want to stop at this and just go, oh, it just says build G. No, that's really improper nomenclature. Don't do that. This is G major. So to build this, we're going to start by building the G major scale. So G major scale, let's do that. And you really need to build the whole thing fully, right? So don't be lazy or kind of do it impartially here. So that's our G major scale. Now, the formula to build a G major chord is going to be 1, 3, and 5. And so really easy to find here. 1, 3, and 5. So to build a G major chord, we're going to have the notes G, B, and D. Pretty basic. Now let's go ahead and look at a B minor chord. And how do we do that? Well, remember that our first step is to build what? The major scale. That's really important. So don't build the minor scale. So B major. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and B. So here's our B major scale. And now I want to remember what the formula is. And the formula was 1, flat 3, and 5. And this shouldn't be too hard to memorize because remember, everything has to have a 1. Everything pretty much has a 5, and we know that the difference between a major and a minor is just flatting the third, okay? And so now I'm going to go through here and I'm going to say, well, okay, I've got a 1, and here's my 3. Here's my 3, but that's a regular 3, so I need to flat that 3. We're going to say a flatted 3 should be a D, so just flatting it, right? So just taking the D sharp off, taking the sharp off because the sharp is what raises it. So then that would be giving me my flat 3. This is my 1, this is my flat 3, and then my 5 is here. So that a B minor chord would have the notes B, D, and F. Pretty basic. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We have a D sus4. So once again, my first step is I need to build the D major scale. So you notice something here. I'm always building the major scale. I don't care what chord it is that I'm making, at least for now, I'm always building the major scale. All right, so now from here, I remember the formula, and my formula is going to be 1, 4, and 5. And that would give me 1, 4, and 5. And so a D sus4 is going to have the notes D, G, and A. Okay, and finally, let's go ahead and look at what it would be like to build an E flat sus2. And the E flat sus2, remember, the first thing that we have to do is build the E flat major scale. All right, and that would look like this: F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, and E flat. Okay, now E flat sus2, I want to go ahead and remember the formula. The formula here was 1, 2, and 5. And so I can identify those 1, 2, and 5. And so that my E flat sus2 chord is going to have the notes E flat, F, and B flat. That's basically how we build basic chords. You always start off with building the root scale. And so in this case, it was a D sus4 that we're trying to build. So I'm building a D major scale. It was an E flat sus2 that I was trying to build. So I'm building an E flat major. In this case, it was a B minor. So I'm trying to build the B major scale. In this case, it was a G major. So I'm building a G major scale. Okay. So that you always want to match the scale to the root note of what you're trying to build. In our next music theory video lesson, we are going to continue to look at how to build basic chords.